Guys, I guess we now know what it takes for the Jets to win their first game. Just every other game being about as big as a blowout as it possibly can get. With that said, though, there were still a lot of things that happened this Sunday. Let's get things going. Thank God it's a light schedule, though, because it would be brutal otherwise. Let's get the play of the day going, though.
Tyler Warren. Jones looking deep down the field, and it is caught by Pittman with a flag down, but what a grab by Pittman. Pressure at the middle throw.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
I am having a very bad day. I am in no mood. This today.
They coach differently, different culture. Williams. He chucks it downfield. A one-handed grab.
Big hole. JT in the open field. Down the sideline. Staying in bounds. Still going. Taylor. The distance.
For his team. Shane Steichen appreciates it.
There he goes again. Taylor. Yes. History. The first player in NFL history with 3 rushing touchdowns in 3 consecutive games against the same team.
Brought down. One of the defenders who played with Rodgers 6, 7, just a sack for Rashawn Gary. The hand signal, the pressure comes. It's picked up to space. Wait. Watson. He's got it. Chuck it down. And took it into the end zone.
There's no doubt that the Jets will have safety help.
Day comes down to this for the Bengals. 4th and 9. Flacco protected.
Anything possible.
And the Jets are going to do it.
From Atlanta, CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Miami Dolphins and the Atlanta Falcons. 1 second drive. Washington on the move. Tua, Gordon, got it. Oh, he did. And then they drove him back. And back to pass Tua, and here he goes. That's a touchdown. Caught by Achane. Tua. And he got the block on the play, and he throws. Caught. Touchdown. Malik Washington. Check until that play from the 19. It's 1st and 10. Oh, Robinson fumbled. It's picked up on the play by Dotson. Right at the drive, here they come. There he goes, Waddle. Look at him fly. You can kiss him goodbye. Waddle, touchdown. Side, and Cousins under duress throws.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Just underway in the 4th quarter. Oh, here comes Ollie Gordon. He's going to waltz in. That's a touchdown for Miami. Algier again. Blocked downfield by Matthews and by Hodge, and it is a touchdown.
And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the NFL Week 8 Sunday recap. Again, you just saw the highlights and like a lot of the main things that happened this Sunday. Again, as you saw, as I talked about in the way beginning, there was one big theme this Sunday, and they were blowouts. So again, all these games, for the most part, are going to be blowouts. Just get ready for that. But at the same time, we did see some big Sunday statements, as well as a lot of other things going on. There are some things that are going on, circulating around the league right now that I want to get to. But since we have the power rankings for that, again, you're going to have to wait until probably Wednesday for that if I had to guess. Again, we're talking about the Carson Wentz injury, Rams trading for Roger McCreary, even though, again, that's not really that big of a move. Still a move at the end of the day, though. That's all I got for you guys there, though. Let's get into our first game, which was, as you just saw the highlights from, the Dolphins stunning the Falcons 34-10. This game wasn't really close at any point. It felt like the kind of the reverse of what the Colts did to the Dolphins in week 1. As the Dolphins snapped their... How many games in a row have they lost? Whatever. They stopped sucking for a little bit, get their first road win of the year, moved to 2-6. Falcons fall to 3-4 as they have now had 2 disastrous losses versus both the Panthers and Dolphins, teams that they are definitely better than, as you might expect them to be, but at this moment that is not the case. Dolphins have a short week as we will have a very interesting Thursday night football game as they will be facing the Ravens. Falcons, on the other hand, they're now 3-4. They will have to try to regroup next week against the Patriots. They are in New England as well. My bad, not in New England. They are at Gillette for that game as well. With that said, though, again, like I said, Thursday will be very interesting for the Dolphins because they're playing the Ravens, too. That's just going to be a game that I'm going to be very intrigued to watch just because, again, obviously, they're not in the greatest spots, but, again, they both can make, things happen there. Again, Honestly, though, the biggest thing I saw from this entire team overall is the fact they just did not let Bijan Robinson do much of anything in this game. Yes, did they get up? Is that part of the reason that guy kind of got taken out of the game? Yes, but their run fits were superb, and gap control was also amazing, and there were just so many leverage wins up front, just straight up, that, again, I have not seen out of this defense in a long, long time. Like, this is some, like, really good run defense. We're talking, like, 2016 Dolphins defense, which wasn't awesome, but they were just so good against the run that, like, it's kind of hard to ignore that. Other than that, though, yeah, I thought next week was going to be the turn on, but I guess it was a week late. Again, I talked about how, again, back in 2021, they had that, they were 1-6, 1-7, and they ended up going 9-8 that year after winning 7 straight. Tua was obviously the quarterback that led that, but I guess I was a week late on that. But again, this was the week. But other than that, A.J. still didn't do anything. Yeah, I don't know why he got 18 carries in this game. There really was no reason for him to do it. Again, I understand they had the lead, but Alec Gordon was running the ball well. Jalen Wright wasn't really running the ball well. But at the same time, like, again, you don't need to use your star running back this many times in a game like this, to be completely honest with you guys. If these other guys, even if, again, Jalen Wright wasn't running the ball really good at all, those other guys can at least take those carries. Again, I might be a little bit on left field on that one, but that's what I saw out of, again, this game. You got to be able to preserve your best offensive player. Yeah, Waddle, yes, he had a 5-catch, 99-yard touchdown game. Can never complain about it. Like a 40-yard zoom-in touchdown as well. Like, again, he did his job. Tua was locked. Yeah, that throw to Washington was beautiful. Not really beautiful. It was an absolute dart on that touchdown. Pass rush was mixed results. Yeah, I didn't think this pass rush was as good as some people thought it was. Again, I analyzed a little bit of it on tape. Haven't really gotten to watch too much of it yet. From the plays I charted, they really didn't get too much pressure generated with 4. Or they got like a living like high rate with 3 guys. That's a whole different story. But that's what I saw there. Corners were on straps. Yeah, they did an absolutely amazing job. Again, I don't even know who played corner. Kendall freaking Sheffield. He's fast, but he's never really been touted as anything more than a solid backup corner. So the fact he was able to go out there and start and play really low today was pretty surprising. Russell Douglas, obviously good vet, even though he's kind of getting older. And Minka was really good as well as Jack Jones. That's all I got there, though. Yeah. Yeah. Also, 2022 Lions, throw another team out there that was 1-6 that had a decent end of their season. Obviously, knocking the Packers out of the playoffs in 2022. Just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, though, for the Falcons, yeah, Kirk Cousins has been put in prison. I mean, I don't know what Kirk Cousins was doing in this game. So many miscommunications. It was just a brutal game to watch, honestly, out of him. Still can't move in the pocket. Really doesn't look any better than last year. I really don't tell you guys. He was absolutely atrocious in this game. Bijan didn't run the ball. Part of the reason was the fact that he was very hesitant in holes. Again, when you have a running back as good as Bijan and he's being as decisive as he usually is, it's really hard to be able to get him out of his groove. But when your defensive line is consistently winning up front, again, for a guy who's Bijan, who's usually used to not having that happen, he's going to kind of second-guess himself. And then when he does get those holes, he's not always going to be able to hit him as hard, which, again, is such a big advantage for a defense. Tyler Alligator had a touchdown, I guess, in garbage time as well. Yeah, absolutely abysmal calls on third down. They went 2 of 11, but the play calling was just absolutely terrible. There may have been one play that were actually set up for success. It was like really, really bad. Don't want to get too deep into that though. Yeah, also their first home loss of the year, if I'm not mistaken on that. Yeah, they didn't score until garbage time as well. We're gonna get to another team that had a similar result with that as well. Pitts, yeah, he did do something. 9 for 59 isn't the worst game. He got targeted a crap ton. Wide receivers, they all sucked. I mean, I can't, again, no Drake London was definitely an issue, but Darnell Mooney was just, he really wasn't even out there. O-line created holes in the B gap on the last drive. Yeah, I'm going to continue to say their offensive line did not do a good job. Caden Ellis, yeah, he had his moments. I think he was okay. Just in coverage wasn't always the most consistent. They did great, do a really good job on their blitzes, though. There were 7 plays where Tua didn't really have his first option because of that, which I think was pretty interesting. And also, they could not build off any positive plays they got because there were some times where they had some decent reps, but again, at the end of the day, they just weren't able to build off that. It's hard to win games because of that. They were dominated by in possession. That's all I got for you guys in this game. Again, now let's get to our next game, which, well, again, you'll see how it went. Oh my goodness, bro. Only good game of the entire day, probably.
From Paycor Stadium on a beautiful day in downtown Cincinnati, we welcome you to the NFL on CBS. Flacco on the keeper. Flacco, touchdown. He's going to be. Flacco, a little bit of movement, puts some air on it. Deep down the field. Higgins, wide open for the touchdown. Right. Fields does indeed look right, goes towards the end zone. It is caught. Johnson for the Jets touchdown.
Jets to get something if they get the ball back.
Jets rush forward. Boy, Flacco threads the needle. Brown busts his way in.
Some Fields.
This is Davis. Davis looks a tackle. Big chunk play. Davis on a full sprint. Here we go. 2nd and 10 Bengals. P-Ryan busted one free. P-Ryan 10-5. Touchdown. Hand off Hall. Hall in for the Jets touchdown. Yard mark on the ground. Fields steps up. Fields under duress. Pulls it back. He's going to run, and he gets it.
Offense throwing and running.
Here's Brown. Brown. Touchdown. Long setback is Davis. Fields fakes to him. Fields delivers. First down, Jets. Davis is playing himself into a bigger role in this Jets offense. He's been terrific for New York. Here's Brees Hall. Breaking one for the Jets. Second effort, and he's in for the touchdown. Go for the two here. Interesting indeed. Fields evades, throws towards the end zone. It's caught by Davis. They're going to rule incomplete as they take a closer look at him, and that just adds to the intrigue here down the stretch. Hall, boy, thought about it, now tosses to the end zone, and he's got Taylor.
Oh wait, Lions, 16-17. I mean, guys, I'm just going to go with Rashawn Gary right there. 2017 Browns, pop your champagne bottles. As the 2025 season will not feature a winless team, as the Jets were able to do it. Yep, they did it. Got the first win in comeback fashion, down 15 points again against these Bengals. They were down by 2 touchdowns with like 4 minutes to go here. As they pull off a crazy comeback, get their first win of the season. Doesn't get any easier next week though, because they have a bye week. We'll see how they do. They can do next week. But the Bengals, they fall to 3-5. This is an absolutely abysmal loss. I mean, I don't even know how to tell you guys this. This Bengals team, I didn't think was very good coming into this game. The fact again they coming off a decent win against the Steelers, you're like maybe they could do something here. But again, this is just a game they could not afford to lose. And look what they did. So. They fall to 3-5. They're not getting an easier game next week, though, if I'm not mistaken. They got the Bears at home, which, again, isn't the worst matchup, but still not looking too hot for them. For the Jets, though, biggest things, yeah, Fields didn't crap the bed. He still hasn't thrown an interception this year. Only quarterback, I think, in football, again, NFL high, 167 passing attempts, which isn't really that many, but still, again, the fact is, no pick yet, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions in the season. Again, that is a Justin Fields stat line, again, throughout an entire season, but again, hasn't thrown a pick yet, so he is somewhat taking care of the ball. And again, if you take away sacks, maybe he's a good quarterback. O-line was impressive. They did a very, very good job. I mean, there's no way around it. They had like absolutely every play. And you don't have to be again watching film or any sort of genius to see the fact that again they were again the offensive line was creating holes as big as the Red Sea. Whatever though, Brees had a heck of a game. Yeah, he I don't think this will be his last game of the team. I could be completely wrong by the time this video comes out. But yeah, he had an absolutely insane game. I don't think he'll stay with the Jets because I mean like why would he? But yeah, he had an absolutely monster day, and he hopefully goes to a good team. No wide receivers, no problem. Yeah, again, you don't really need a receiver to win, I guess, if you're the Jets against the Bengals. Mason Taylor, though, was very fun to watch. Jeremy Ruckert had a huge play on 4th down, and I guess Tyler Johnson made a touchdown. He's just kind of a scrappy guy, guys. So again, he's not a very good receiver, but the fact he can still get out there and do it is pretty good. Fantasy owners, you will be picking up Isaiah Davis as soon as he's available. Got to tell you that right now. Again, he's the guy. Like we talked about Woody Marks, JCM before the season started. Isaiah Davis is a new dude. He had an absolutely monster day, over 100 scrimmage yards there on 12 touches, which is pretty darn good. On that, though, secondary was tenacious. They weren't good, but they definitely had their, again, some solid moments. 500 yards, that's the second time since 2000 they've ever done that. They just got over it, too. Yes, I understand. 500 yards is a crap ton of yards. Again, there's it's very, very rare a team gets to that. Like, I wouldn't say very, very rare. It is rare for a team to get that on a week-by-week basis. When this happens, appreciate it. But again, the Jets have only done it 2 times since 2000. For reference, the Giants, who usually don't have a great offense, they've done that 14 times in the same span, which still isn't crazy. But yeah, that's absolutely insane. That's actually a stat. 254 rushing yards for this team is bonkers. Obviously, oh yeah, they're a rushing team. They're obviously going to be able to do that. But guys, trust me, 254 rushing yards it's over 250 yards as a team is a very nice stat. That's all I really got for that Jets, because I mean they're the Jets. But the Bengals, I don't know what the hell was that. Again, like bro, like what are we doing? Yeah, this D is actually I don't like to swear a lot, but this defense is actually ass, guys. I don't know what to tell you. There's literally like I understand there's some talented players in this defense, but the fact that really Trey Henderson is the only guy in this group that can get any sort of consistent pressure one-on-one. Not telling the fact that again he gets pressured again, not pressured. He gets quadruple teamed at times. Cam Taylor-Britt is not consistent in coverage. He's your only talented cornerback. DJ Turner's an absolute bum. The safeties, again, they're playmakers, but they're not good. They're just a simple truth there. And then the linebackers are just not reliable either. Like, Logan Wilson has just not really been that great of a player. He's never been good in coverage, and it's huge loss for them. I don't want to get too deep into it. Again, I don't want to yell about this defense, but they're just not good. Also, Joe Flacco didn't do jack in the fourth quarter. Kind of just melted like a freaking pan there. That's not a good one. That's kind of an air ball. Whatever. Yeah, they should have leaned into the run game despite yeah, the unstable nature of this game. I mean, guys, they were running the ball well. Like, this offensive line actually did a good job in this game. I mean, again, I understand they only get 1 sack. Like, if you're the Bengals, like, you got to run the ball more. Like, they were dominating up front. Yeah, Chase is getting auto targets. Yeah, I mean, 12 catches, 91 yards. That's definitely a Cooper Cup 2022 sort of stat line. Higgins did something. Yeah, why did Flacco go to the locker room too? There's probably some answer to that, which again you could definitely go figure out. But yeah, comment section below. Why did Joe Flacco go to the locker room? On that though, yeah, remember 2021? I don't know, like Week 8, the Jets and the Bengals. There's something about that. Again, you look back to the 2021 season. That was a Mike White game versus the Bengals on Halloween. Yeah, they do need a pass rusher desperately. Again, either they trade for one right now or they kind of just sell things off because they cannot get pressure without trade. Again, if Trey Anderson's the only guy who can do much of anything. That's what I got there. Now, what do you know? Back to the Blots.
Losses against the Patriots and the Falcons. Josh Allen, the reigning MVP, comes off a bye week, hoping to snap the skid for the Buffalo Bills. A good patient run, he pushes it through. Right on cue. Off to the races. James Cook. House call, touchdown, somersault, he's in. 44 rush yards total last week. Rules change inside of 2 minutes. No coaches challenges either. Oh, 3-man rush. That is picked off. A.J. Epinesa just grabbed it from Dalton. Josh Allen, who's got the second most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in NFL history. Blitz coming, so Allen got rid of it to Shakir. This is where Buffalo hurts you. In space, Shakir, cut back, touchdown. Allen checks to the second call, which is a crack toss for James Cook, and it was a good call. It's a house call. It's a touchdown.
Is used to being one of the teams at the top of the league year in and year out. Is that another fumble? Oh boy.
They might let this play through and then figure it out later. It is, and Josh Allen is in for his second of the day, his 70th. Bay tenure a couple of years ago.
No question.
Here's Hubbard. That's a good sign for Carolina to see him get back into the end zone for a touchdown.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Guys, I thought this game was going to be pretty lopsided, but again, 40-3 going into the fourth quarter was not what I had in mind, as the Bills absolutely dominate the Panthers to snap their 2-game losing streak as they moved to 5-2. Panthers snap their 3-game losing streak, falling to 4-4 without their starting quarterback. Honestly, even if they had Bryce Young, they would not have won this game, as this was an absolute rout from the jump. Not technically, I guess the first quarter wasn't too bad. But still, Bills, they have the Chiefs next week, so lock in, or stay locked in, I guess. Panthers, well, I don't even know who you're playing next week. Isn't it the... Who are you guys playing next week? It's just not. It's not coming. You're not in a bye, but you're. Who are the Panthers playing next week? Let's figure that. Oh, no, I got the Packers. They're going to Green Bay, so good luck with that too. Probably without Bryce Young. But anyway, Josh Allen. He didn't even have to do much in this game. Honestly, he was just chilling. He literally could probably had been reading the book and would have had a more productive day for his standards. Not trying to roast him, but like literally didn't have to do anything. Yeah. Yeah, so James Cook had himself a game. 216 yards is absolutely insane. 11. Guys, the Panthers gave up 11.4 yards per carry to James Cook. I understand that was skewed by a 65-yard touchdown and stuff, but holy crap. Your run defense in this game was absolutely awful. This isn't even like a real, you can't tell me that's a real stat line. That's literally, if you told me a receiver put up these numbers, I could believe it. A running back, like this actually looks like one of those all-time fantasy receiver games. That's what this looks like. But anyway, yeah, Cook, yeah, it's insane. This offensive line was absolutely elite. I mean, they were even better than the Jets O-line, which I don't downplay the Jets because, again, it was their first win, but still, they were that good. Yeah, also, first, Bills running back with 200 yards since some black dude did it. I'm not trying to be racist, but again, that's kind of how it goes in 2010. But anyway, Shakir, yeah, he did his yak thing at a 42-yard touchdown. Again, that's really about it, though. Absolute domination overall, again, as you all know. A.J. Epinesa had himself a game. And Josh Allen has never lost 3 games straight as a starter. And yeah, Ed Oliver was fun to watch because he completely destroyed the Panthers, or decimated, that's a better word, the Panthers running game there. But Andy Dalton was absolutely terrible. He didn't do much of anything. This offense didn't do much of anything either. I mean, I guess they had some yardage, but really not much at all. Ty McMillan he's the guy, but really that's not going to get it done because they did have 3 turnovers. Dowdle was erased from the game as well, and Chuba finally got his first touchdown. Yeah, this defense literally went back to last season's run defense. Because, I mean, what did I say? Yeah, again, that looked like the move. Again, if you're a Panthers defense, going back to last year's play seemed like the move. But anyway, Jalen Coker looked like he was out there, which again is better than I guess it could be for some of these guys. Yeah, the same situation as Atlanta. Like, bro, like they just got absolutely butt whooped. Yeah, Dalton didn't look like a competent backup, as you all know. And yeah, also Show Smith was not great. This is probably the first game of the season. I wouldn't compliment him in any way because he was kind of trash. O-line was giving like they were gentlemen. I didn't really know how to put a better way to put it, but their O-line kind of sucked. That's all I got there. Now let's get to another blowout. Again, all these games are.
23-year-old Drake May is taking the league by storm. His counterpart today, Browns rookie Dylan Gabriel. A couple of young quarterbacks on display. The Patriots. Gabriel fires, floating for his tight end. He's got it, and he's in. Harold Fannin Jr. has a Cleveland touchdown. 47 yards away, and that kick is off the mark. It's
Coordinator going to adjust.
May has it. To the end zone. Touchdown, Hunter Henry. 3rd and 7. Here they come. Gets rid of it. And it's intercepted. The Patriots with a takeaway. And it's Robert Spillane. Quick toss. Catch made. Diggs has a touchdown. Going deep between two Patriots. And it's intercepted. Jalen Hawkins came down with it. He's throwing for the end zone, and back there the catch is made. Fires one for the end zone, and it's crowded over there for Judy. The coverage was good. Christian Gonzalez.
You're doing right now. You've gotten here because of the work you've put in. Let's keep doing it.
And a touchdown catch, David Njoku on a bullet. Henderson falls out, and the Browns are on it. Knocked. Dylan Gabriel to throw, and there's nobody home.
That's going to be a safety.
Schmidt tries the bouncer, and the Browns got it.
And the Patriots, despite not having a great start to the game defensively, are able to shut down the Patriots, forcing the first picks off of Dylan Gabriel in his career as they win their 5th straight, move to 6-2 with this 32-13 abomination of a blowout versus the Browns. Not really. It was still a big-time win, though. Browns fell at 2-6. They're going to their bye week, hopefully getting Shador after that. But the Patriots are now 6-2, and they will be they'll be playing the Falcons at home next week. Yeah, that's actually crazy. But again, Patriots have a cupcake schedule for most of it. Again, you might have saw again on Sunday night, Football Night in America last night. Whatever though. Dylan Gabriel, he was not great. His completion percentage wasn't atrocious, but again, the first interception was inexcusable. The second one I don't really care about. But again, if you're Dylan Gabriel, one of your main, like I want to say honestly, freaking elite skills is not putting the ball in harm's way. That first interception was a clear indication of that being a major issue. I'm joking, but I still love Dylan Gabriel, but like that was like it was one of the worst picks I've seen. Again, there was a worse one. We'll get to the Bucs game, but that was absolutely atrocious. Anyway though, no running game. Again, they just literally couldn't run the ball to save their lives. They haven't won a game in New England since 1992. They also haven't won a road game as a football team since week 2 of last year with Deshaun Watson still running the show. Garrett deserves better, but not really because he's getting the moolah. Yeah, I mean, get Myles Garrett. Like, you're getting paid. Like, in 5 sacks, you set a freaking franchise record. You're obviously like, the best freaking defender in football. Like, and you should be doing this. But still, I'm joking. This is absolutely insane performance, Myles Garrett, even for his standards. But again, he's getting paid all the money, so who really cares? Again, I'll keep saying that. But again, he chose money over winning. Sets franchise record. Also passes Reggie White with again, I think it's like 112.5, something ridiculous like that. Sacks, again, for the most before turning the year of 30 years old. Again, that's unk status for NFL if you didn't already figure that out. They do need a wide receiver so bad. I mean, again, Harold Fannin was great. Dave Njoku did a good job. But other than that, like, no one did much of anything. Isaiah Bond didn't get open. Jerry Jeudy and Isaiah Bond, they're top 2 receivers. They're most talented receivers. Literally didn't catch a pass in this game. I understand Christian Gonzalez and Jerry Jeudy the whole game. And Jerry Judy's been pretty bad this year, but, like, still, what the And then, like, Isaiah Bond literally sucked. Like, I don't tell you guys. They really don't have a receiver right now. Also, D wasn't trash, but secondary was too hesitant. Yeah, that's why they gave up a couple big plays. They really weren't the most, consistent is probably the best way to put it in terms of their approach, and that kind of put them in a bad spot. I did like the way Tyson Campbell played, though, even though it kind of got burnt. For the Patriots, if I can get over to them, 5-game winning streak is their longest since 2021 when they won 7 straight. I think I mentioned that last week. Also, that's their last back-to-back wins at home since weeks 10 and 11 of 2022. I think that's also the last time they won back-to-back games. I think we talked about earlier in the season. Yeah, sort of a decent plan for Myles Garrett in the second half. Yeah, he still got like 7 or 8 pressures, but like, again, it wasn't as bad. Drake, though, he had a great game. Again, the interception was not great, but who really cares? Running game, I mean, they tried to, didn't really do it great. I mean, again, it's kind of hard to trust Travion Henderson when he's fumbling the ball every time, despite him still being a decisive back and probably being better than Ron Stevenson overall. Also, first pick as a defense, that's the Niners. We'll get to them in a little bit. They did get 400 yards, though. Patriots did get over 400, which is pretty good, and they were also not good on third down. That was probably the one thing I was going to mention. But other than that, I don't know. Yeah, great confusion disguises on defense. Again, they just kind of confused Dylan Gabriel at the end of the day. They did need to see more isolated pass rush wins because they really only have one guy. Where is he? Harold Landry. Did he even play in this game? He's somewhere. He's the only guy who can really win somewhat consistently. Other than that, they're kind of in a little bit of a Christian Barmore, obviously, but they're kind of a little bit behind outside of that. That's all I got for you guys in this game, though. And what do you know? No, this next game wasn't as bad.
The Texans are hoping for a bounce back today. They've returned home. Who's waiting? Early MVP candidate Christian McCaffrey and the San Francisco 49ers.
Get it on 4th and 1 here. Stroud on the quarterback keep, tumbling forward, and he's got the first down. Checks it down to Woody Marks. Marks with room on the sideline. Across the 40, galloping across midfield. Good cutback inside the 40, and Marks all the way down.
Rushers that they have in Seattle, that's a tough front.
Here's Stroud looking deep. He's got Knoll out there. Drops it in to Jalen Knoll. 10th play of this drive for the Texans. Stroud looking for 6. Open touchdown. Jaden Higgins. 4-man pressure. Jones for Kittle in the end zone. And it is caught. George Kittle surrounded by Texans. Here's Stroud. Steps up and he's looking deep. He's got Knoll and it's intercepted. Picked off by Diamador Lenore. 3rd down and 7. Pressure coming. Stroud stands in. Finds the open man. Down the sideline. Into the end zone. Xavier Hutchinson with play action. Looking. It's caught. Jake Tonjes. 4-man pressure. Jones down the sideline for the end zone. Leaping interception by Kamari Lassiter.
Well, the point total for the Texans might not seem like you would have liked. It was definitely a much, much, much better offensive performance than what we saw on Monday night, as they were able to take care of business against the Niners, 26-15. Niners fall to 5-3. Kind of disappointing road performance by them, as they will be heading to somewhere next week to play who? Let's think. They're going to play the Giants. Texans fall to 3. They moved to 3-4. They will have a big time game next week against the Broncos at home. Hopefully their defense can show out in that one too, in what is probably a matchup one of two of the better-ish defenses in football. With that said, though, for the Niners, Mac Jones struggled on hitting his throws outside the numbers. It wasn't exactly that he was putting the ball in bad spots out there. It was more the fact that the pace on his throws and a lot of his reads and timing were delayed out there, and that's just it's really hard to move the ball up and down the field if you're really just overly reliant in the middle of the field. Obviously, most offenses are based on that, but again, if that is your entire game, it's really hard, to just move the ball up and down the field. Yeah, they refused and couldn't run the ball. I mean, guys, CMC, least amount of rushing yards, if I'm not mistaken, since his 2018, his sophomore season. So, again, definitely not his best game. Kittle did his thing today, on his day with the National Tight Ends Day and having that great touchdown. Again, I think that's definitely an underrated play of the day. Trent wasn't very good. Yeah, very rare game from Trent Williams where he was a little bit off. He still wasn't bad, but there were definitely some plays against Will Anderson where he really didn't, exactly win, which, again, is very rare. Can this team legitimately generate pressure with 4? That's my biggest question on this defense because, yes, a guy like Michael Williams will get you consistent pressure. I think he's done a lot better recently, but I can't pronounce this dude's name, and then, again, he got injured too. And then, their interior, this D-line are just lacking guys that are going to consistently get pressure. Like Jordan Elliott, faster dude, but not always getting pressure. They don't have those, reliable guys up front. Again, established guys as well, if we think about it. Because, again, Nick Bosa was that dude, and he's just not here anymore. So, it's not going to be great. Jalen Lenore, though, snapped the 467 pass attempt streak by opposing quarterback, not getting an interception. They were able to do that. That's over the last 14 games. So, again, good for the San Francisco Niners. And also, what do you see at safety? Because, again, it's definitely, again, it's not a bad thing. But, like, Upton Stout really isn't the guy I want to see out there. Malik Mustafa was very good in this game. But, like, again, Jair Brown definitely could have been better. Again, it's just, like, a little bit of a lost cause out there in a lot of ways, even though it's not, again, the worst thing in the world. Yeah, they were not good on third down either. That was a little bit of a concern for me as well. Again, on third down both ways. Either way, for C.J. Stroud, yeah, this is probably his best game of the season, other than the interception he threw, which I think was more of again like a weird quirk in the offense, which again they're definitely gonna work out. But other than that, again, he was really good on his anticipation. Like he just made a lot of nice plays. Yeah, Higgins and that was a dart to Higgins on the touchdown. Also, Xavier Hutchinson, who, again, I kind of forgot was on this team. And then Jalen Noel, all former, I'm thinking, Xavier Hutchinson played for Iowa State, right? Am I going crazy? Where do you go to college? Iowa State, yeah. They literally had 3 Iowa State receivers. They all played great. They were doing their thing. Also, they really had 475 yards. I kind of forgot they ran the ball pretty well. But other than that, I mean, this offense really just kind of moved the ball at will. 41 minutes of total possession. They had themselves a game. Yeah, money on certain third downs. That was part of the reason they won this game. Yeah, they Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins blew it back to last year, like like the Iowa wins, whatever though. Yeah, while not having to sustain protection was rock solid. They were really good. This D is so good, yeah. And then the last year pick was awesome, and then also Dino Hunter and Anderson cooked. So I don't want to get too deep into that, but yeah, this defense was absolutely phenomenal. Really nice win by the Texans, but again, hopefully they can win by more than this game because realistically they completely outplayed the Niners in this game. Now let's get to a game that was just kind of really unfortunate overall.
Old school NFC East battle today. The NFL on Fox. It's the Giants taking on the Eagles, and we can't wait. Good to see you on a Sunday afternoon.
Here is Barkley, left side, big hole. Barkley, goodbye. Elliott boots it up, and it's off the post. Another blitz, Dart protected, throw. It is caught for the touchdown. Dart beat the blitz, Scatterbull on the receiving end. Tush push, Hurts, leans forward. Ball is taken away from Kayvon Thibodeau. Blitz coming, Hurts, Barkley, wide open, touchdown, Philadelphia. Quick throw, it is caught over the
Slants, he's the outside slant. On Newbin, the safety.
Hurts on the keeper. Zone read, he's got a man. Blitz coming. Hurts sees it, loading up, going for a deep ball. It is Jahan Dotson. Dart, big toss, and he's in for the touchdown.
And the Eagles win their second straight game and bounce back with their first home win since I don't even know, and it really doesn't matter. They took care of the Giants in this one on a route, as again the Cam Scatterbull injury completely deflated the entire crowd as well as this entire Giants momentum as they fall to 2-6 with their second straight frustrating loss. They will be hosting the Niners next week in what will be a tough game, while the Eagles will be going into their bye week and hopefully going to Cancun for the rest of the season. But anyway, for the Giants, Jackson Dart, again, I didn't have too much on him because I didn't really get to watch a ton of his film. But yeah, it was pretty obvious that none of these receivers were consistently getting open, which kind of put him in a spot where he kind of tried to like make things happen. And again, at this point in his career, he's not going to be able to do that too effectively with that. Again, the group he has supporting him, as well as the fact that he just needs to learn to dirt the ball. I mean, how many sacks did he have? Yeah, 5 sacks allowed. It wasn't egregious, but like again, there were definitely some plays where he took way too big losses and just put this offense in a bad spot. And obviously, again, I don't want to get into it even, but like, yeah, Scatterbull injury, that's just gonna again. This team, I don't expect them to be playing very good football the rest of the year. That's just my opinion. I don't expect them to be playing inspired like this, like high level momentum football the rest of the year. If they do, hats off to Brian Daboll and Jackson Dart. But until that happens, again, I don't really see that happening, and I'm not gonna expect them to either. Slayton wasn't awful. Like again, he wasn't. He was sort of getting open, but again, he's got to be doing more than this. I understand they don't have a number one receiver. Neighbor's gone. It's going to be a big loss. But again, Darius Slayton's out there to make plays happen once in a while, and he just didn't really do that in this game, which was an issue. I understand again the PI was kind of BS, but like got to be a little bit more than just that. Yeah, tackles got. Okay, I'm not gonna say the rest of that. Tackles definitely didn't have their best game. Yeah, haven't won in Philly since 2013 as well. They again had their issues there for a long time. Yeah, you need over the middle threats. a guy like Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger could be those guys. Haven't really seen it much really consistently at all this season. Other than that, though, yeah, I need to see more outside zone from this offense. They really have no variance in this running game. It's really hurting them right now. Again, obviously, without Scatterbo, it's going to kind of be different too, but still. Yeah, when your secondary is this young, you got to contain and play a crap ton of zone, which, I mean, they sort of did in this game, but again, they just weren't really approaching it right. Also, these linebackers were trash. Bobby Okereke was absolutely awful in this game. He did have one good blitz, but, like, horrible gap discipline. Absolutely horrible in coverage. Like, again, but one of the worst games I've seen out of Bobby Okereke. Very disappointed. Also, several of the pre-snaps, looks were very predictable from the Giants DC. With that said, though, for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, 4 passing touchdowns to the 4th time his career, despite him not really having to do much through the air. He got a jump ball touchdown, kind of a Mickey Mouse to Jahan Dotson. Devonta Smith had a phenomenal game, though. He was absolutely ridiculous, even though, again, his numbers didn't look like it. He was getting so much separation. Saquon, 65-yard touchdown, absolutely broke out. Averaged over a first down per carry. Same thing with Bigsby. They both had themselves days. And then, again, Bigsby as a backup is definitely pretty interesting. Yeah, again, Jahan Dotson, heck of a play there. Goddard isn't real. Yeah, I mean, guys, like, he has, like, freaking, like, what is it, 6 touchdowns this year. They're all, like, you know, like, wee, put the ball over, walk-in touchdown. Other than that, though, need more aggression from the offensive line overall. They were good, but like I think they definitely could have had a little bit more of a dominant game. Again, definitely a little bit more meat left in the bone. And also, for this defense that you should be dominant in these circumstances, again, no real guy had an absolutely fantastic game off the edge. Joe Exxon, I think, is really evolving into a guy that could be your go-to guy in certain pass rush situations. Not consistently, but definitely a guy who could be. And then obviously, Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond had their definitely best game of the season as well. Giants didn't get too much yards. Eagles got a lot. They dominate possession, not really dominate. But they dominate the running game with 276 yards overall. That is all I got for you guys in this game, though. Again, pretty typical win for the Eagles. Again, with all things said, despite the Giants having that brutal injury. That is all I got for you guys here, considering, again, it was a pretty close game. Not close game, but it wasn't completely out of reach going that half, but into the half. But that's all I got for you guys here. Now let's get into our other game, which is definitely a stunner as well.
We're with you today from M&T Bank Stadium, where the Ravens are in desperate need of a win. No Lamar Jackson, so they turn to Tyler Snoop Huntley.
The Rams 3 times. Can they today?
Henry gets to the outside for the touchdown. Cairo Santos from 58 yards away leans into it. Santos! It's short.
Thanks.
He has a moving pocket. Snoop throws the deep ball and makes the connection with Bateman. Oh, and nearly lost the ball. Handed off. Swift puts the head down, and he's in. Second down and long. Fake the handoff from his own end zone. Williams has time. Downfield. Intercepted. Wiggins steps in front. Motion man is Kohler. Go with a big formation. Fake the handoff. Huntley looks the other way. Wide open. Touchdown. You can't. Henry in the backfield. Hand it to him. Henry bounces off. Gets to the outside. Henry. He's got the angle. In the end zone and put some pressure on the Ravens. Williams searching, throwing, incomplete.
I mean, like, Bears, what are we doing, bro? Again, I understand you guys weren't, again, the most glorious 4-2 team, but you're still 4-2 coming in on a 4-game winning streak. This is a game you should have won by 2 scores. What ended up happening? You ended up losing by 2 scores because of horrible management by Ben Johnson. It wasn't exactly his play calling was bad because there were like a lot of wide open receivers, a lot of schematically correct decisions, but analytically at the same time, there were a lot of like questionable calls on his part. Definitely his worst game coach of the year as they get upset by the Ravens on the road, fall to 4-3. They'll be heading to Cincy next week for another AFC North foe. Not really foe because they don't really play it much, but you get the point. Ravens, they snap their 4-game losing streak. They will be heading to Miami for again, very underrated Thursday night matchup. Again, I'm trying to give you guys something for that one. But anyway, for Caleb Williams, yeah, it was kind of rough to watch, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, there were just a lot of plays. I'm like, what are you doing? It was just really just like in the function of the offense, to be honest with you guys. He got there was one sack he took. Again, really the only sack he took technically. It was just like, what are we doing, bro? On that though, Swift looked off. I don't think he was really good last week. And you might say, oh, the Ravens defense is much better. That is partly true, I guess. Not this season, but still partly true. But again, he just didn't really look the same in this game. Again, for DJ Moore, better late than never to actually look like a good receiver. Odunze's numbers look really good, but I think, again, it wasn't his best game, to be honest with you guys. there was definitely something still there. But other than that, though, like, again, he was really the only guy in this offense still doing much. Nahshon Wright is the only guy in the, again, only active cornerback. The reason or DB, my bad. Daquan Brisker's still making plays. Kevin Byard's still making plays, but they're not being as aggressive or as engaged as Nahshon Wright is being right now, and that they can't really ever be the case. Yeah, got very little pressure. I mean, a nice sack from Montez Sweat. Finally gonna get, yeah, he got some decent pressure, but realistically, outside that, Gervon Dexter won sometimes on his speed rush, spin move sort of combo there, but other than that, again, really wasn't seeing much there. I did like Noah Sewell's swipe move though on his one pressure, but other than that, like, a little bit off there. But other than that, yeah, no impactful linebacker for, in this one either. They didn't have, again, a consistent guy making plays for them. But that's all I got for the Bears, guys. Just a disappointing performance. Again, they're going to have ones like this each year. I wouldn't be too concerned. But, yeah, offensively, definitely want to see a little bit better games than this. Also, Stu Puntley, he just got it done, guys. They asked him to go in there and make plays. He just did what they asked him to. Passing game, very, very efficient. Wasn't trying to do more than, again, his pay grade. And as a runner, was very, very effective in the second half of that. Really nice scramble there as well. Keaton Mitchell, I don't know. Maybe he's back. Derrick Henry, he kind of just really didn't get blocking, to be honest with you guys. There were very little holes for him that really could explode through. He had, again, 2 touchdowns, though, so at least you got that out of that if you're a fantasy guy. Yeah, great balance overall for this offense as well. If you look at the pass to run, it was very, very good. Yeah, wide receivers did get open a lot. I mean, very, very, again, open guys for Tyler Hunt to throw to, especially Zay Flowers. Again, Rashad Bateman was very explosive in this game as well. Yeah, first road win on Thursday Night Football. We'll see if they can get that. Yeah, starts with the talent. Stars showed up on defense that the talented guys did. Like Roquan Smith, obviously star. Malcolm Stark's not really, but he is talented. They're talented and star players. All played very well in this game. Kyle Van Noy and Joey Woozy, again, completely different positions, but those are 2 big difference makers that I think didn't get noticed a lot from what I saw. Also, Wiggins had his best game of his career as well. He was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, also something missing in the red zone. That's really the only criticism after the Ravens in this game. I think that's where they, again, if they play again like a game like this, they could definitely lose against a different team. But hey, big time win for the Ravens. Wasn't as bad as a blowout as we've seen in a lot of other games, but this next one is certainly not going to be getting any better as we get into like the later window games.
You can throw out the records when NFC South. From the 41, the fake to Kamara, and then Rattler takes off. Ball, fumble. So Rattler lasted over 9 minutes.
So
back to White. Oh, did he get it? Here's a block. It's Tucker, and he is stopped. Sure. That's to Glenn and Chaz. Rattler on the slam. Bumbo. First down, and then the ball came loose.
Look for some deep outs and or deep curls from Emeka Egbuka.
Bumbo. Again, ball comes loose. Saints have it. It's Tucker, and he is in. Chuck's pass. Oh no! Ball taken away by Whitfield. Yes. Yes. 4th down and 2. Pass incomplete. Chuck on 4th down spins, and the pass incomplete.
Ball, right, and you're
Chuck on 4th down will pick up the first.
Imagine that Chuck will get some first team reps this week in the event that he doesn't. He is in Rattler doesn't.
And the Bucs, despite taking the week off on offense, were able to destroy the Saints 23-3. They're obviously a much better team. And again, as Chris Meyer, I don't even know who the hell was calling this game. I kind of forget. But they said, oh no, I think it was Kenny Albert. He said you could throw the records out. Maybe not in this game. It's Bucs moved to 6-2, is now tied for their best start in franchise history through 8 games. Again, 2021 with Tom Brady was the one year that I think I recall. I think there was another year that I'm just not really caring to remember that was a part of that as well. But next week, bye week, they'll figure some things out, especially on offense. Saints fall to 1-7. Not looking too hot for them. They're obviously right on pace with that 1999 3-13 season. So see if they can continue on that pace. But yeah, they're now 1-7, and they'll be playing in LA next week against another division-ish leader. But anyway, for the Bucs, Baker Mayfield has season low in passing yards, maybe a career low with the Bucs. I think that might be wrong, but who knows? Well, let's think. Bucs, Eagles 2023. This is the only game that I could really think of where it would be even close. Yeah, Never mind. He had less passing yards in that game. There probably was a couple other ones, but again, that's the one that I kind of remember. But anyway, for the Bucks, yeah, the offense. Again, like I said, they took the week off. They are now 2-0 in the division, which is a pretty significant thing for them. Again, trying to win the division for the 5th straight year. Yeah, Ibuka wasn't utilized, but I will say he faced very, I wouldn't say unique, but adverse coverage for his adaptation to the league so far. That's what I'll say there. Again, this just wasn't stuff he'd seen yet. Also tied for the best. I already talked about that. Yeah, best / expected defensive performance of the year. Like, I expected them to be good, but that still exceeded the expectations. They had 5 sacks, 4 takeaways, nearly 2 touchdowns. Anthony Nelson had a pick 6. Also had a forced fumble, and that is also the first time an edge rusher has done that in a game since Alex Highsmith did that back in 2023 for the Steelers when they played the Browns and that Deshaun Watson disaster on Monday Night Football. Game was still technically close, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, yeah, Nelson was awesome. This defense was really good. I mean, there's really not much else for me to say on the Bucks. Again, you kind of expected them to win this game. But anyway, for the Saints, yeah, bench Spencer Rattler, guys. He's 1-13 as a starter. Like, like at some point, he wasn't awful in this game. He wasn't good, obviously, but he wasn't completely awful. But again, you're just not winning games with this guy. Like, you're not. Again, you're sort of competitive, but you're not gonna consistently be competitive with him at quarterback. That's probably the best way to put it. Tyler Shook, I think he's a bad quarterback, but I mean, he at least kind of moved the ball better. Not really, again, with Spencer Rattler, but there were so many checkdowns, so many just short passes. It's not a good way to move the offense. Alvin Kamara looks so bad. Again, it makes sense that, again, with how this team's really vibing right now, he just does not look like he's anything good at all in this offense right now. Yeah, Kellen Moore needs to just redesign, honestly, his quick pickup plays and also his RPOs, because that's how this offense is gonna get something going. Also, blitzes didn't do jack on defense. Better performances this year. No, had one of the better performances for this defense this year. Receivers, I don't really give a hoot about. They obviously have 2 talented guys. Juwan Johnson still put up some numbers, as it seems to do every week. They did get good pressure. I think the rate was, again, actually really nice. But still, Chase Young, he looked just absolutely relentless for the first time in a while. But realistically, that's all I got for you guys in this game. Not really too much to take away from it that we already didn't know. Again, 4 turnovers there by the Saints really cost them this game and really doing much of anything, as they were held without a touchdown in this one. Now let's get to a game that went exactly as I thought it would.
Week 8 of the NFL on CBS rolls on from Indianapolis. This city is buzzing as the 6-1 Colts. This could be the final play of the quarter. They run it with Taylor again. JT to the outside. JT, 5, touchdown! And the stunner! Spears picks up the first down and a lot more for Tajay Spears. Still going down the sideline. Spears, stiff arm. The field. Pollard in motion. Ward fakes the handoff. Looking to throw it. And he's got a wide open Gunnar Helm for his first NFL touchdown. The hold of Johnny Hecker. Slice kick on the way. Leaking right. And it is no good. Jones looking, Pierce is down there. Alec Pierce, got it! Jones, rolling right, looking for someone, throws, he's got Downs, touchdown! 180! A pitch to Taylor, can he get the yard? He can. On 4th and goal. Ward to the end zone, intercepted! And give him a quick target. It's Spears, and Tajay Spears is in for a touchdown.
Sorry about the short highlights, but the biggest moments of that game were put in the intro. Again, a lot of history was made, as well as the play of the day being in this game, as the Colts pull out the brooms and sweep the Titans on the season. 38-14 it was able to was what was done to clinch it, as they are now 7-1, a game away next week in Pittsburgh, or a win away in Pittsburgh next week from tying their win total from last season. And guys, might I mind you, they weren't terrible last year. They weren't good, but 8-9 is like, that's a mid-season. 9-8, that's a mid-season. You're getting to that record by mid-season, like, you're like, holy crap. Again, it's just it's crazy that this is the case. Again, it would be more crazy if they were like 3-14 that had this record, but you get the point. You're not gonna get everything there. Titans 1-7 now. They suck, as we all know, and they will probably continue to suck next week as they have to host the Chargers. Ooh, good luck with that. But anyway, for the Titans, this team is just absolutely terrible. again, this game was exactly as I expected to go. Them to go. Cam was throwing darts like with a blindfold. I mean, he had some decent throws, but again, the Alec A.U. Manor play again where he was absolutely wide open was a little bit frustrating to watch. Shamari DK padded his stats though. Gia Conquo was pretty good blocking wise. They didn't really run the ball. Again, my fantasy running backs after this game with Tony Pollard, him and Jordan Mason had combined like 9 points. That's kind of why I got blown out. I'm not blown out. That's why I lost this week. I think I got blown out too. It wasn't a really good week for me. Again, just kind of screwed in the first place. Also, this defense was, you know, they were definitely going in the garbage can this week as well. They had their worst game of the season, as you might expect against an offense averaging like 32 points a game. But anyway, that's really all I got for you guys on the Titans, guys. Not really too much to talk about, other than the fact that they just traded Roger McCreary. For the Colts. Also, they're without 2 of their starting corners from the year. Again, if you don't remember, Jarvis Brownlee. I think I traded the Jets, right? I don't even remember. Whatever. For the Colts. Danny won 3 games in his prior 2 seasons. He already has 7 this season. That's just absolutely crazy. Again, you can't make this stuff up. Also, you know, John Taylor broke like 4 records in this game. I don't want to get into it, but again, you got 12 carries and had 153 yards and an 80-yarder. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. He was just absolutely crazy. Michael Pittman, great game, 8 for 95 touchdown, by far his best game of the season. Insane touchdown catch. Alec Pierce was an absolute monster as a deep threat. He's so good. Josh Downs had a touchdown. John Taylor had another receiving touchdown. He gets absolutely crazy here. Also, for the Colts. Again, just really biggest thing I saw in here. Again, I understand it was against the Titans, which is why this kind of like assumption can be made. Again, very skewed. But a lot of guys are like, oh, Colts are real. Like this Colt, like a lot of really good players in the Colts. Again, I wonder why they look really good. Still, the Colts obviously are a very good team. Defensively, I don't know. They did their own thing out there. Didn't really get too deep into it. But again, they definitely had a couple lapses overall in zone, but outside that they were fine, especially on the boundary. But anyway, Riley Leonard, he got in, so again, the kind of successful way in the game in that way. But yeah, I guess actually the Titans had more possession when you think about it. Colts weren't exactly great on 3rd down for the first time in a while. But anyway, they put up 38 points. Who cares? Now let's get to another game that I guess was a little bit of a stunner. Still a big blowout at the end of the day.
To win it, we're all set. Dallas and Denver, they don't meet often, but when you see those 2 teams, you look back at the history, it evokes a lot of the Dobbins 7-yard run. So Ingram, who's getting more action, gets that last one. Look out, picked off. Dallas comes up with the theft. They go with Harvey on the toss, and there goes Harvey. Harvey's got a first down. Harvey's looking for the end zone. Harvey takes it home. In the pocket, in the end zone, and it's caught. Franklin for the touchdown. There's the money. There's Williams, and he's in for the touchdown.
Nick's that wide
look at this. They hand it back to Harvey. The direct snap to Harvey, and he's in for a second time. Nick's down the field, end zone bound. Oh, what a catch! That's Bryant, the rookie.
This is like bringing out Nolan Ryan. It's like he's different.
Prescott intercepted. Fullback, Williams the tailback.
The good blocking tight end.
It's Williams, and he's in for another touchdown. This is game 2, and they lead starting the 4th as Nix gets hit for the first time in this game. Throws it, Sutton has it. Was he touched? I believe he was. Nix is looking that side, Tony. Throwing it that side, back in the end zone. Franklin has a second touchdown grab of the game.
And try and help the quarterback a little bit. He didn't do that.
Intercepted. It's going to Harvey. It's Harvey into the end zone for a touchdown. A banner day for the rookie.
The championship in the Super Bowl for Dallas.
Here's a 2nd and 10. As the ball's headed to the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Tolbert.
Now moving on to the headline game in the late window. As you guys saw, the Broncos blow the doors off the Cowboys 44-24. Huge statement win for them, kind of giving the Cowboys nearly the same medicine that they gave the Commanders last week. The Cowboys fall to 3-4-1 with their mid record. They will be heading to host the Cardinals next week on for a Monday nighter. Broncos are now 5-game winners in a row. That ties with 2023 the longest win streak they've had in a row since 2013, where they won 6 straight. That was obviously with Peyton Manning in the offense. I think they won 7 straight that year too. I don't really remember. Whatever though. Cool. Broncos are now 6-2. They will they'll be heading to Houston next week to definitely challenge how good their offense actually is. But with that said, for Dak Prescott, he was absolutely atrocious. He was just bricked up the entire game. And again, versus that secondary, he was just really wasn't a good combination with how he was going out there today. Yeah, also, they haven't gone back-to-back games with a win since Week 15 and Week 16 last year. Again, they had a big upset against the Bucs last year. Again, that was how they would get that with Cooper Rush as their starter. Oh, yeah, this defense is cooked. Yeah, their man coverage did not. They tried it for the first quarter, but again, didn't really work. And also, who the hell is Elijah Clark and Trigweez Bridges? Who the heck are these dudes? I don't know who you guys are. No idea who you guys are. Big pick by Trigweez, but I don't know who these guys are. Deron Bland was bad. The entire defense was crap. They were terrible. Like, what else am I going to tell you guys? And I thought Joe Milton should be traded for the number 1 pick. Pickens and Lamb really didn't get much separation, I guess. I don't really care about that, though. They also didn't get any pressure, as you might expect. For the Broncos, Bo Nix had himself a day. Yeah, Harvey, welcome to the league. He finally did something. 3 touchdowns. My bad, I forgot about that. 40-yarder, and after that, really didn't do much as a runner, but I'm not going to try to hate, because haters be hating, and I don't want to be hating too much. Yeah, Jacob Dobbins, he set some sort of Broncos record. I don't really care to look at it or really find it out, but yeah, he had some massive holes in this game, or he was seeing them, my bad. Other than that, though, yeah, they were so effective on first and second down. Again, they were 5 and 3rd down, and they had 426 yards. They were moving up and down the field. They were having themselves a fun game out there. Yeah, hopefully this is legit for Broncos fans. Their defense is obviously really talented, but again, if they're going to consistently be good, I don't know. Jonathan Myers, it was an absolute beast. They had a lot of other guys that got pressure, but again, just hats off to the secondary. They were absolutely phenomenal in this game, especially Riley Moss. But that's all I got for you guys in this game. Not really too much else to get into in the air. Again, the Cowboys defense sucks. Again, a lot of inconsistency so far from them this year. Broncos, big time win. I just want to know if this is legit. We'll see if that's possible next week against Houston, especially on offense. That's all I got for you guys here. Now, Sunday Nighter, again, Aaron Rodgers and all those shenanigans.
It's a first-of-its-kind meeting as Aaron Rodgers faces the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football.
Really hasn't worked out that way.
From the 16 to Kraft, the tight end with blocking. Kraft inside the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown.
When he was drafted.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Kraft again taking off up the field. Tucker Kraft cuts inside to the 40-yard line with a quad injury. Here from 57. Rodgers looks at Metcalf, slants, touchdown, Steelers. And he missed it to the left now. Love hit as he throws, up for grabs. Caught! Kraft! Oh, on the run! Kraft pulling away! Still on his feet at the 30.
2 minutes, choose left.
Fake to Jacobs, Love, Kraft, got it. Savion Williams has got it. Williams getting the blocking to the pylon. Savion. 2nd and goal. Jacobs trying to bounce to the outside. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Pressure coming. He picked it up. Inside. Kraft the 10. Kraft running away to the end zone. He has 2 touchdowns. 23. Inside, that ball comes out. On the scramble, we'll see. Saw a little bit of that. Gonna sneak one in before the 2-minute warning. Directing. Fire. Rodgers, touchdown. Wilson didn't. Rodgers rolls it. There's the 2. With Jonnu Smith. No!
And despite being down by 2 scores going into the 4th quarter, the Packers put on a 21-point show as they were able to clinch this one against the Steelers, 35-25, denying Aaron Rodgers, their former quarterback, as you might hopefully know, his win against every single NFL team journey, whatever those. Packers are now 5-1-1. They've won 3 straight. Good for them. They've got to remain the lone 1-loss team in the NFC. Again, Colts still only have 1 loss, and they'll be hosting the Panthers next week, and will probably a really ugly game to watch. Steelers fall to 4-3 with their 2nd straight loss. Another inconsistent and not really encouraging offensive performance, as well as their defense kind of falling apart there in the 4th quarter. As they fall to 4-3 there, they'll be hosting the Colts next week in a game that could be very similar to this one if I had to guess. But there are no excuses if you get up 35 points again to win a game there. With that said, though, Jordan Love, 29-37, 363 touchdowns. Again, with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady as the only quarterbacks in history to throw 360 yards and 3 touchdowns on the Steelers. That might with no interceptions. That might be in Pittsburgh too, if I had to guess, because that's a very specific and very exclusive group. But still, Steelers usually have good defenses, so maybe it's just overall. Anyway, though, he also completed career high 20 straight passes. He was really just doing his own thing out there. Yeah, Tucker Kraft has to be a top 5 tight end. Like, every single time he got the ball, it was like at least 10 yards a yak. It was absolutely insane. Hit a 57-yard catch too. Also, a big stat on him. We'll get to in a little bit. No, we'll just get to it now. 2 actually. Tucker Kraft has 2 plays of over 55 yards this season. He also won last year against the Rams, 66-yard touchdown. Just wanted to mention that because I remember that. Week 2 versus the Commanders on that Thursday nighter, and then also we had a 57-yard huge play this week. All the other tight ends in the NFL have combined for 3 of those 3 50-plus yard plays. Again, kind of a sneaky stat there. Also, first player in Packers history, tight end in Packers history with 7 catches, over 140 yards and multiple touchdowns. Or no, 140 yards and multiple touchdowns. Great game by him. Also, yeah, he just absolutely yacked demon. Christian Watson, I guess he's healthy. I had no idea. You know, the 6'7" for, where is he? Rashawn Gary, who's enjoying himself a big year, despite, you know, Micah Parsons still being the main sheriff in town, hopefully. I don't know. Maybe it's Rashawn Gary. That's all I got for you guys here. Moving the back here for more Packers crap. No, that's really about it. Also, the secondary was actually surprisingly competent. They weren't awesome, but they definitely didn't have their, their blown coverage assignments like they usually do. Anyway, though, for the Steelers, yeah, y'all are mid, bro. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, this is just, it feels like screams a mid team. Aaron Rodgers wasn't exactly bad, but he wasn't making a bunch of big plays. Again, 6-7 on the completion percentage as well. Yeah, the running game, yeah, it could have been more explosive. They didn't even go into it. That's actually a PMO. Give me a sec. But other than that, yeah, show me something versus the Colts. That's what I'll say there. That was tough to watch. Please do something against the Colts. But anyway, first time, I think in Steelers history or something like that, they were up by 2 scores going in the fourth quarter and ended up losing by double digits. That might be wrong, but who knows? Well, someone does. We get the point there. Yeah, 23 was up. My bad. Sorry, I'm kind of a casual in that sense with numbers. But Darius Slay, what are you doing on that play again where, as you saw in the intro with Jordan Love throwing across the field? Like, what are we doing, bro? Drop deeper in coverage. Like, how was that a play? Like, literally, Jordan Love was literally throwing it back. You get it? To that divisional game against the Niners where Fred Warner had that pick. Or Drake Greenlaw, my bad. So, and also, sorry, Niners fans that I mentioned Fred Warner. But that's what I get there. Second time this defense was horrible at home. Again, look back to Seattle when their other home loss where they weren't competitive. Yeah. But anyway, Steelers still had a lot of yards, not a lot, 295 yards of offense. They were absolutely atrocious on third down, though. Got stalled on almost every drive, and it wasn't for Chris Boswell giving me 20 fantasy points. Thank you. He was clutch for me in that sense, even though I still lost. They would have lost by a lot more. But still, yeah, they couldn't finish off drives. Yeah, only good thing, were the spurts of good play from this defensive line. But realistically, that's all I got for you guys here, and that's all I got for you guys overall here on, again, the NFL Week 8 recap. Hope you guys enjoyed all these games. I mean, hopefully not. Unless you like blowouts. If you're a blowout type of person, no diddy. I guess we hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. We got a Monday nighter to get through. Again, this probably already started by the time you guys are watching this. But again, hopefully, you guys enjoy that game. And again, I got you guys the Monday night recap tomorrow. Then Power Rankings to get through all the shenanigans as well. Again, logging out here. Lightest weekend until week 17 of the season. So again, I guess be thankful for that again for me. But that's all I got for you guys here. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night.
3. Gets the sideline. Niblet. He's gone.